only seen the 2 episodes they sent us. It is so fantastic. But I am
Oh,
very appreciative that you did that video to kind of catch us up to speed in 30 seconds that I found on YouTube. Do you ever get confused?
I did initially. I did initially, kind of walking up to start production. I had to remind myself that this Loki was the Loki that starts in the series is the Loki from the end of the first Avengers movie.
Right.
He hasn't been through the Dark World and Ragnarok and Infinity War. And we're jumping through time and different realities and different possibilities of reality. So yes, there were a lot of spider charts and a lot of kind of diagrams in my script just to make sure that I was in the right place.
Speaking of time travel and multiverses and which Loki is this, I know that when you were cast, you were probably in your late 20s. I know you just, happy birthday late, by the way. I know you just turned the big 4-0. If you could go back and meet up with a version of yourself, what time period would that be from?
Oh, that's a really good question. I don't know. Maybe I would go back to, I don't know, maybe when I was a student, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I was probably like many students, I had my private worries about how things would turn out. I think that's common to so many people, and certainly was true of me. And I would just kind of try and reassure him a bit. And because beginning life can seem so overwhelming, and I think things will unfold as things will happen whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
But maybe back then, when I was in my kind of early 20s, I was worried about it, but I would go back and try and reassure him a bit.
Yeah, tell him he's going to be just fine. Maybe show him the Loki horns. It's interesting. I know when they announced that you were getting a 6-hour series, fans weigh in on who they hope is going to show up and what cameo, might be made. Without giving anything away, what cameo were you kind of hoping might show up? Whether it does or it doesn't, we won't know, we won't say. But was there something or somebody that you were hoping to see when you found out you'd be doing this for 6 hours?
Gosh, that's a good question. I mean, there are
Again, we're not saying if they do or not. Yeah, I'm just curious, who was your instinct? Like, are you like most fans, is Hemsworth coming back? Like, where were you on that whole thing? Who was the first thing that popped into your head? Again, not giving anything away. I won't even read your body language on this.
Sure. So it's a curious one because I do have someone in mind, but I think I'd rather keep the powder dry for everyone to find out.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah. Somebody once said to me years ago, or a couple of years ago, is Loki really dead? And the best thing I could think of in response was, time will tell.
Okay.
And I think time will tell on this one too.
Do you think Thor might be jealous of the chemistry you have with Owen Wilson in this?
No. Thor is like, that's the thing. What I love about this universe is like Thor and Loki started together and they've been like, they ran on parallel tracks for a while. And now they're kind of on different tracks, but they're still aware of each other. That's the thing. They're sort of both Thor and Loki that, they exist in the minds of each. It's interesting to think about. Like, even doing this series, I would email Chris, and because it was impossible not to kind of carry him in mind, because he's been on this journey with me, but he's got his own new family in Love and Thunder, and I'm pretty sure Thor's got his own challenges now. Different challenges.
You're good about not answering this stuff because I know you really can't. But here's my big idea, and I know they wrap me. I'm thinking Vince Vaughn makes a cameo. You and Owen end up in some sort of Wedding Crashers. That's a cameo I don't think anyone's tossed out, and I feel like I might be onto something.
It would be interesting. I mean, that's one branch on the timeline for sure.
Yeah. Well, you heard it here first. Just remember the gal from Arizona who hopes to meet you in person one day. Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Tara.